The wives weren't allowed to do anything.
It was the wives that started this damn prohibition movement to begin with.
It's because their husbands were getting drunk and getting all sleazy.
Yes, you are absolutely correct.
Okay.
That's how it started because they hated that their husbands were coming home.
It wasn't the wives' fault. It was the men's fault.
Okay.
Because the men's were getting a little trashy.
I stand corrected. Thank you very much, Amanda. You are right. I am wrong. This is the men's fault. Well, no, you are right. Because listen, the men would come home and what would they want? First of all, they were loud and obnoxious and smelly. And then they probably wanted to, Or
they were getting that somewhere else at all the brothels because during this time there was a brothel on every corner too.
My whole point of all this is the wives start something called the Women's Christian Temperance Union, the WCTU. This is what starts. Right? Okay. You could argue basically became the first ever nationwide women's movement. That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
The WCTU. Let's go. And they would go around basically from bar to bar and try to get the bartenders, the owners of the saloons, to stop selling alcohol. So they were like, I guess they were also the original bar hoppers, right? Yeah, if you think about it.
But also, why would anyone agree to not sell the booze?
But they did because they got so fed up with these women. They got
also,
so fed up.
How did these women come together to form a movement?
That's my point.
Because they didn't have
they texted each other.
They couldn't have.
Yeah, they did.
Just put a note on their pony and slap the pony's butt and
This is what.
How big was this movement? Was it just in one town?
Just wait a second.
Was it multiple towns? I have so many questions.
You're completely out of control. So this is the best I could gather. Okay, so it's around 1873, 1874. Because I did this homework. Okay, fine. All these spontaneous women's crusades, let's call them, start breaking out all over Ohio, Kansas, and everything. Because
so independently of each other.
Independently, everybody's drinking in all these little small towns. A lot of wives were getting fed up with a lot of husbands. So in these little groups, 10 women, 12 women, 15 women, I don't know. They start going bar to bar in these little towns and start praying and doing all sorts of shit to bug these saloon owners to close their bars. Does this make sense? Okay. So then a bunch of newspapers get a hold of this concept. And they're like, oh shit, what's going on? So they start publishing this crap in the newspapers. And once it starts publishing in the newspaper, now they can start connecting the dots because then they can start writing letters to each other from town to town and so on and so forth. So it was a slow burn and took a while, but that's ultimately how whatever this WCTU got put together. So what started as a whole bunch of independent women crusades, thanks to the newspaper and thanks to letter writing, Pony Express, shit like that. It took a long time, but end up with the whole WCTU. And they started a campaign to meet in 1874, November of 1874. So they do this all through the newspapers and said, we're all going to meet in Cleveland, Ohio to talk about all this shit and try to make one cohesive voice. Okay. So they do that. And they elected Annie Wittenmeyer as their first president. So now we're totally official. Okay. So it goes from small shit to big shit. Okay. But the whole problem with the WCTU was all based on appealing to emotion. And that only got them so far. So they inspired people, but they weren't changing anything because the politicians weren't involved. No one was helping them. You got to remember, women didn't even have the right to vote back then. Right. I mean, this is that didn't even happen for another 50 years.
They were just being women.
Right.
Sure. So then what happened next?
They needed men. That's what happened next. And I'm not I know. Don't roll your eyes at me. I'm not for the patriarchy, but I have to say what's real. That's what they needed back then. Okay. So some clergymen who weren't drunk all the time, right? And then just other dudes in the congregation, right? They went to churches to figure out who they could sort of get to rally behind them, right? And they saw look around one day and they're like, all right, this is not working anymore. This is not a spiritual issue anymore. This is now a political issue. We got to do some serious shit.
So then who did they get on the politics side to back them?
Here we go. So it's 1893.
Okay. And we jumped far ahead.
We did. Yeah. So now they're doing this for 20 years or something like that. The Anti-Saloon League is officially born. Anti-Saloon League, yes. And it was essentially 2.0 version of the WCTU.
Were they called the ASL?
Yes, they were.
Were they deaf?
No, but that would be really funny. Oh my God, that was good.
Oh, that was a bad joke.
But now they had a bunch of political strategy. Now we're ready to go here. This got serious, okay? So while the WCTU kept the moral pressure on everyone, the Anti-Saloon League,
the ASL,
thank you very much, started threatening lawmakers, drafting legislation, endorsing candidates, shit got serious, which basically turned the temperature way up. Yes. The government now had a national problem on their hands. Yeah.
That's crazy how that all starts.
I know.
Did they make any headway?
Oh, they made headway.
I mean, clearly, because Prohibition came about. But how did they make headway? So who did they shake down?
Oh, there was a lot of shaking down. Are we ready?
I guess, but I have so many questions.
Okay, what's your question?
But politically, because during that time, during Prohibition, there was a ton of lawmakers who were getting kickbacks.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, they were.
So then, the conspiracy theorist of me is well, do they vote for the law to shut everything down so that way they could get their kickbacks?
No, they got kickbacks after the fact.
Oh, okay. But why would you then shut down alcohol?
Why would you shut down alcohol?
You're not going to get your position back. You're not going to get voted for again. Everyone's going to blame you.
Let's start with, this was America's worst decision, if you remember. This is how we started. I don't know why you shut down alcohol.
Okay.
I'm only reporting on the facts.
Because I know it wasn't morally correct. I understand.
It wasn't,
but
right.
Sure. Okay, fine. So they shut it down.
No. So it took about 20 more years, from like 1893 to like 1919. If you like this content, subscribe, leave a review, and share with us your episode ideas. We'll pretend like they're ours and pass them off as our own. If you like this short and want to watch another, click here. If you want to catch a whole episode, click here.